Hi everyone, my name is Lucy. I am an undergraduate TA for IEE 380 Probability and Statistics for Engineering Problem Solving course with Dr. Clough at Arizona State University. Today, I will be doing a tutorial on how to program your calculator to perform the chi-square inverse function, or we could say chi-inverse for short, which will be useful when dealing with hypothesis tests and confidence intervals on the population variance sigma squared. I will be using a Ti-84 CE calculator for this tutorial, but this tutorial also applies to Ti-83s as well. For other calculators such as Ti-89s and Casios, they might require slightly different steps, or they might already have the function pre-programmed. I suggest looking on Google and YouTube for more information specific to your calculator model. Now let's begin our tutorial on programming the chi-inverse function into your calculator. First, go to Program, which is right here. As you can see, there are three different tabs: Execute, Edit, and New. Use your left or right arrow keys to navigate through each tab. There is currently nothing under Execute and Edit because I still have yet to program my first function. However, if you have already programmed functions, they will appear as a list under both Execute and Edit. Use your right key to move to New tab. Select one Create New by pressing Enter or 1. Here, the calculator will give you the option to name your function. Technically, you could name it whatever you want, but I suggest putting something descriptive like chi-inv for short. The calculator should automatically turn on the alpha function, which will give you the ability to type alphabetical letters without having to press alpha again and again. Once you finish typing the name, press the Enter key. Now we are getting to the trickier part, so please follow closely. You need to input the syntax exactly as shown in order for this to work. Take a look to the right of this calculator. We will be inputting the code under Input this code line by line. For the first line, input quotation alpha equals quotation comma A, you need to first press Program. There are 5 different tabs, but go to I/O, which stands for Input Output. You should select the first option, which is Input. The only thing you should have on the first line is Input. The next step is to find the quotation mark. So go to alpha and then the plus sign. You'll see there's a quotation mark above it. Now we need to spell out alpha, A-L-P-H-A. It's a good idea to put your calculator in A-lock by doing second and alpha. This allows you to continuously input letters without having to press alpha multiple times. Now we have to enter a equal sign. You cannot just press enter like you usually do when you're calculating. So instead, you need to go to second, math. And it should be your first option. So press 1 to select it, and we enter our second quotation mark. Now we find the comma, which is right here. Press the button, and then we need to type A again. To jump to the next line, we need to press Enter on your calculator. Our second line of code is really simple. It's 1 minus A, arrow A. Make sure you use a minus sign and not a negative sign. That means something different. To type the arrow, press the store or STO arrow key, which is located above the On button. To jump to our next line of code, press Enter on your calculator. For our third line of code, it will be really similar to what we did for our first line. When you're done, make sure to press Enter to jump to the last line. For our last line of code, press the Program key. Now go to the I/O tab, then select Display, which is number 3. Now press the Math key. Select Solve, which should be at the very bottom. To find the chi-squared CDF function, you need to press the second key and then Distribution. It should be your 8th option. Here you will have the opportunity to enter the lower and upper bounds. Keep the lower at 0, but for upper, you want to insert x. For degrees of freedom, which is df, you want to put d. Once you're finished, you need to press Enter and then Enter again. For the last couple of steps, you will need to enter -a, x, 0, and right parenthesis. Remember, use the minus sign, not the negative sign. Once you're done, there's no need to press Enter to access the next line of code. You are done. Once you're done inputting all the code, access Edit menu by pressing the Alpha key and F5. If you want to quit the editor and return to the main page of the calculator, select option 8. Or if you're super excited to try out the new function you've programmed, you can select option 1, which is Execute Program. Let's select option 1 to execute the program to see how this program works. At the very top, you will see PRGM, which stands for program, and then the name that we had previously defined, which is chi-inverse. It will give you the option to enter alpha. Let's say our alpha is 0.01. And then we have to enter a degree of freedom. So let's say the problem says that you have a degree of freedom of 12. And then press Enter. As you can see, it takes a second or two for the calculator to solve this, so please don't be alarmed if there is a slight pause. And as you can tell, 26.216 is the answer. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. I hope this was helpful. If you still need assistance, please feel free to stop by Dr. Clough's or one of the TA's office hours, and we'd be happy to help. Best of luck!